on counter. Milan in transition. Teo Hernandez went on a run, but he was defended effectively one-on-one by Diego Llorente.
Yeah, look, the game's already opened up. You're seeing end-to-end action. Reinders there, as you mentioned before, going up. And look, it's exactly what the fans wanted to see.
Those sort of passages of play where it's punch and counter punch. It's going to really keep the crowd engaged in this game. We've had 5 minutes of a feeling out process, and now these two teams, I think, want to start scoring goals. Baldanzi. Space for a cross, but it was blocked by the near marker. Dybala. And Smalling. Milan sitting deep in defence. Bove. And now Aouar. Angelino in space. Can he get the cross spot on? Oh, it was Evan Ndicka, the centre-back, who had crept forward. He is yet to score a goal for Roma, his first season with the club, after joining from Eintracht Frankfurt in the Bundesliga. And he was taking up a position you might normally expect to see a centre-forward on that passage of play.
Yeah, look, excellent play by Angelino, though. A great cross there, and he should have done a lot better there with the finish.
Now back in a more customary position, the Cote d'Ivoire international Evan Ndicka. Heisen. Abraham. Tammy Abraham getting a feel for the game. Lost a significant chunk of the season just finished to rehabbing a torn anterior cruciate ligament, so his run of football at the end of the campaign crucial to show that in the prime years of his career at age 26, he's not going to let it derail his career. Adley. And Reinders. Ball comes to a standstill. Pobega. Alex Jimenez. And Reinders, the little step around Smalling, and he tries to take him on. Smalling attempting to recover. Referee lets them play. No thoughts of a foul. Dybala. Only got a couple ahead of the ball, but he's forcing it out to the left. Tammy Abraham is there. Angelino in the middle now. Can Abraham turn provider? He's got two markers with him. Dybala slid it on first time. Just with just a little nudge in the back of Houssem Aouar, enough to put him off.
Yeah, look, the game's really opening up now, but the two players for me so far, Reinders and Dybala, when they get the ball, you're just expecting something to happen, and particularly on the left there for Roma with Angelino trying to cross it in for Abraham, so it's all happening at the moment.
Adley, really risky pass, but he trusted that Kalulu would connect on the end of it. It's the cohesion at the end of a season between these two teams. Hernandez with the left flank all to himself. Him and Adley just waxing between the pair of them here. And now the Roma defence wants to engage. Little backheel flick from Adley. Now Hernandez. And perhaps wanting to score the perfect goal there and string together a few stylish passes. Roma put an end to it. Ndicka. Aouar. Houssem Aouar. He's been given both flanks to choose from here, but he decides Heisen is the man to play the pass. Angelino ignores the run from Eduardo Bove. Dybala the step over, and now played through for Llorente, but sharp goalkeeping from Marco Sportiello. Made 9 total appearances for Milan during the season, so he's not coming in as a completely cold backup keeper tonight.
Yeah, look, again, good movement, but most of the time it's just controlling the game at the moment. you're not seeing the tempo too high. Both teams are sitting back, moving the ball around and looking for that little spark, whether that's Dybala or Reinders. But Milan at the moment, for me, seem to be controlling the game.
One of the players responsible for that is on the ball right here. Adley's unlocking all of his tricks. Another little chop step, back-heeled flick. Finds its way to Hernandez. And Reinders with space to dictate in the middle. Giroud waits in the middle. No cross forthcoming just yet. Calabria. Adley, who started the move. And now the pace of play accelerates. Reinders was trying to combine with Giroud. He might still get a chance. Smalling safety first. And there will have our first corner kick of the night.
Yeah, and again, Reinders is at the heart of everything for Milan. But what we do notice, Tay, is when they're moving the ball away, just when they get around the 18-yard box, they then speed it up, and then you see those quick interchange of passes trying to get Giroud in.
Corner taken quickly, unguarded near post, and it was an attempt from Kalulu to catch out both his marker and also the keeper. There's Daniele De Rossi, the Roma manager, replaced Jose Mourinho, who started the season and then left in acrimony. Mourinho seemingly about to join the Turkish Super League and Fenerbahce in a stunning change of direction for his career. Didn't quite work out for him in the end in Roma, as much as I think he quite desperately wanted it to, and for a lot of the time, so did many of the fans. Here's Dybala. Dybala! Well, he uncorked, and he ended up putting that into the fence, which is some 30 to 40 metres away from where he let fly. Just a little high.
Yeah, but exciting though, Teo. I mean, when he gets the ball, interesting. Milan just sat off that because you don't want to give him that that little bit of space there. But Dybala again being a handful.
123 career goals across Palermo, Juventus, where he scored the majority. And Roma now, where he has 25 in his 53 appearances. He loves playing against Milan. He's scored 9 in 25 against them. There are just some opponents stand, whether it's the colours, whether it's the ground, you just like the look of them, and then that's the case for Dybala when he plays Milan.
Well, the big-time player, they like the big teams and they tend to lift.
Even when it is a match in Perth, on the other side of the planet, Dybala will like the look of Milan. Heisen. Roma trying to just up the tempo a little now. It's been an enterprising first 15 minutes. Almost played into trouble there. Smalling, the cool head. Aouar. Angelino has been the target for most of the attacking outlets, and now a shallow cross here. Beauvais. The ball is booted to safety by Matteo Gabbia, and we have a player down. He's just putting his boot back on. It's not an injury, it's more a pit stop here, and the Roma players are going to show good sportsmanship and allow bootlace to be tied up. And Calabria says thank you, I appreciate the sportsmanship. Tammy Abraham having a laugh. And we're back live with the ball at the feet of Dybala. Weaving through the midfield. And now hooked down to the right side. Dybala tried for the blind little pass on the instep, couldn't quite pull it off. That's the sort of trickery that fans would have been hoping for. The stylishness of these two teams. Now at the edge of the box, Beauvais can't control. The Milan defence cleans up. Giroud, a long way from the target. That's a great flick. And away goes Alex Jimenez. He's delayed temporarily, but he's got Pobega in support. Roma get back in numbers. Reinders. The crowd want a shot fired. Milan building up over the head of Giroud, though. Oh, risky back pass. And then it ended up being out for a corner from Dean Heisen there.
Yeah, what a shame on that move, but particularly with Giroud, a lovely little flick there to, I'm pretty sure that was Jimenez, but the ball in was pretty poor, to be honest, but that was Giroud at his best there with that lovely little flick.
Dean Hyson on loan from Juventus at Roma. So Juve fans not completely without an interest in this game. As we see the corner, an uncontested up and under header of no great danger. And Mile Svila is able to collect. So, Stan, the game has settled down. Give us your thoughts on how it's panning out so far.
Yeah, look, it started off a little bit slow. And, of course, the teams are just feeling the conditions, moving the ball around. But in the front third, particularly Reinders and Dybala are looking to speed that up and get that little interplay happening. And Angelino on the left for Roma is quite active. And Giroud just finding it hard, Milan, to get him into the game.
Dicker stuck in a 1-on-2. Milan win back possession. Kalulu. And Pobega forcefully hit back pass. Sportiello caught out of position. Well, the last thing you want in a game that should be celebrating your season is an own goal that goes around the world. And fortunately, there was just a couple of rolls of the ball for Sportiello to get back and retrieve possession there.
Yeah, look, he lost sense of direction there, but the ball was actually played without even looking, to be honest. But, yeah, got away with that one.
And trying to accelerate the passing chain, but it comes unstuck. Angelino. Aouar. Smalling. Back to Houssem Aouar, immediately confronted by two midfielders. Bove, the workhorse of this Roma midfield. Oh, and he misses this marker with the pass, and Giroud can launch a counter, but he touches it way out in front of himself, and thus gifts Roma back possession.
Yeah, again, you win the ball there, and he wanted to accelerate away then, Giroud, but just that touch just got away from him.
Abraham. Still support in the form of Tommaso Baldanzi. Tempo's high. Roma picking the ball around now to take on some of the midfielders and defenders at that speed. Hyson, can he keep it at that level? Dybala. Angelino. Dybala again. Hyson. A couple of players making darting runs ahead of the ball, but for now it remains in territory that Milan can sit behind the ball. Dybala trying to change all that. Llorente. Aouar. Now Baldanzi. Angelino. The build-up continues for Roma. Angelino. Hung it up, and it's cleared away by Gabbia. Now Giroud. Can he lead a counter here? Surrounded by Roma players in midfield. Smalling is going to have a pop and sends it high.
Yeah, look, why not by Smalling? He's got clear there, but again, Giroud's given the ball away twice now, but what a great passage of play by Roma. They must have interchanged 20-30 passes, and they're just moving the ball around. Typical Italian style of football. And just when they're trying to find Dybala just to accelerate things, that's what they're looking to unlock this Milan defence.
Gabbia. Almost like it's Milan's turn to answer here, because Roma have shown a little bit of class in what they can do in possession, deep in attack. And they'll have a foul here, a rare foul, to just move out of their defensive half. Reinders. Crowd looking to build. Bove blocks the passing channel. Adli. Thinking about a long ball. Giroud meeting the sandwich of a 1-on-2. And the numbers win out for Roma. Ndicka able to cover him in the air. Angelino. Rare we've seen him in possession this deep in the defensive half. Dybala. dictating the play and directing the traffic. Llorente made it work. Awa. And now Abraham, the flick on. Baldanzi, Bove, Angelino. Well, he's a very left-footed player, Angelino, and he went for the pass rather than the shot.
Yeah, absolutely, Tay. Just wanting someone to pull the trigger then. But again, great passage of play by Roma.
Reinders, Milan looking to respond. Leaves the ball at the corner of the box. A deflection. Decent chance. Let's take a look at end-to-end action. Back heel from Tammy Abraham set it all up, Stan.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the passage of play by Roma, there was 4 or 5 quick passes. The little flick by Abraham almost got in, but yeah, just you're waiting for one of the Roma players just to have a shot, but then the counter-attack through Reinders, and then that shot by Milan. I'm not sure who took that shot, but it wasn't far away.
Hernandez.
Yeah, it was the deflection.
Phase of play, yeah. Angelino now had a great chance just a moment ago. Dybala. Oh, Angelino lost the ball in flight. He apologises to Dybala.
Yeah, the idea was right, but again, you know, the style of the Italian football is possession. Just keep the ball, work the other side, just get them tired, and then when there's an opening, look to accelerate, and that's just the style that Italian football thrive on.
And of course, Serie A having a sensational season, moving right up the league rankings in Europe with how their teams performed in the continental competitions. Fiorentina making the Conference League final. Abraham here. He's a lone hand though, and he's got 4 defenders to deal with. Who is there in support for him? Finds the outlet pass. Roma continue to advance, but Tammy Abraham is a step behind Kalulu. Of course, Milan's near neighbour Atalanta winning the Europa League, a competition that these two teams in front of us were also playing in, capping a superb season on the continent where Serie A is making its case. It is returning to the glory days of the 80s, the 90s, and well into the 2000s when Milan were kings of Europe. Here's Pabega. Hernandez working with Florenzi. Now switch of flanks. Calabria. Just a little bit stuck for ideas. So Stan, how do Milan, whenever the ball has been at the feet of Reinders, he's made something happen, but who else are you looking to as a playmaker in their team to try and match what Roma have showed in terms of attacking intensity?
Well, look, obviously Giroud is the key there. You're trying to get Giroud onto the ball, and particularly he's so good with his feet that he's looking to bring other players in. But look, it's just patient football at the moment by Milan in particular. Reinders is that player. I know we're trying to look for somebody else, but you know, you look at maybe Jimenez that's you know, looking to make those runs in behind. But at the moment, it's got a similar sort of tactics by both sides, and the 2 key players, Dybala and Reinders, are the 2 that are going to try and unlock each other's defence.
Long string of passes nonetheless here from Milan. Roma happy to watch them keep the ball in the defensive half, but now is where it gets interesting, as Milan need to try to unlock the Roma defence. Calabria, Kalulu, Hernandez goes direct right up the middle, headed away by Hyson. Awa. A bit of a risky pass, but Angelino was first to the ball, and now he accelerates away. Pass comes underneath. Bove on the move. His body checked on his way through. Advantage given Dybala. And now Baldanzi cuts inside. And it's the opening goal!
And again, Teo, all created by Dybala. Just weaving in and out. Got a lucky little deflection there, but nonetheless, it put the keeper off, and it was a good finish in the end.
Tommaso Baldanzi, the 21-year-old who joined right on the transfer deadline from Empoli, has broken the deadlock. Roma 1, Milan 0.
Yeah, and we're watching the action. Dybala trying to thread it through. He did get a little deflection there, but nonetheless, great finish by Baldanzi. And then the keeper probably should have done better, if I'm being honest. Teo, I think you look at that and yeah, he should have saved that.
Baldanzi, who didn't score for Roma after joining, but he said goodbye to his old team Empoli by scoring against Juventus in his final game for them at the end of January. He's an Italian under-21 international, and he can clearly see the fun in scoring that goal. At the other end of the scale, Marco Sportiello not so happy. You might share your sentiments, Stan, that he should have perhaps done a better job saving that shot.
Yeah, look, I mean, he went down too early, for being honest, but whether he was fooled, whether the Baldanzi gave him the eyes and tried to put it in the other corner, but yeah, he should have stopped that. But again, I will highlight Dybala. It's his movement. Defenders are sitting off, particularly at the back there, and Dybala seems to just find that little gap there where he can thread those balls through.
And so the opening goal, Roma perhaps more aggressive of the two teams, and we'll see if Milan can come up with a response.
Yeah, they have been more aggressive, Teo. You're right. They've been more willing up front. And I just think with Milan, it's just very patient, very controlled, but they need to accelerate and maybe inject a little bit of pace up there.
Well, we've seen a winger switch from the looks of things. Alex Jimenez over on the right side. Teo Hernandez advancing from the left. The flick on the return pass. Hernandez! Oh, nearly for Olivier Giroud. He puts it into the support post that's holding up the net. Did it catch a deflection? It did. A corner coming up.
They must be listening to us, Teo, because that's exactly what they need to do. Whether that was a switch, at least there was a bit of movement, and it wasn't too far away.
Catching the outside of the woodwork, very nearly the equalizer in the blink of an eye. Here comes the resulting corner. No time wasted. Florenzi. Teo Hernandez. Still plenty of players lined up in the penalty area, but no cross forthcoming. Florenzi, though, frees his feet. In swinger. Giroud, once, twice. And he thought there was a handball there. He's in earnest discussion with Ali Reza Fagani, who doesn't see it the same way.
Yeah, look, Milan need more of that. They need more balls in the box. You got Giroud, he's really strong in the air. Just needs a little bit more action where he can get on the end of things.
Sorry, Olivier, no VAR tonight. You saw him do the little TV motion there. He does get a corner, so repeat corners for Milan. Adley this time. Smalling with a defensive header. Back out to the corner taker. Adley spins on the ball. Yassin Adley. And he wasn't able to bend it back towards the goal.
Better by Milan, though. They're lifting a bit now, but I like the change. So they've obviously switched.
So we take another look at the goal. So, from a goalkeeper's point of view, when you say he's gone to ground early and perhaps that Baldanzi gave him the eyes, is that just a misread on his part?
Oh, definitely. And then he's tried to kick the ball away, which was even worse. And it, yeah, it wasn't the best. He'll be looking at that thinking, what have I done?
Dybala. Llorente. Adley following him at the moment, Dybala. But Awa is on the ball. Put Bove into a spot of bother, and now the counter-attack might be on here. Alex Jimenez with a real burst of acceleration. Adley looking for Giroud. The touch might sit up for him here, Giroud, but he was one out against three defenders. Hyson and now Angelino. See the frustration on the face of Giroud, but he had to do it all himself up top on that occasion.
Yeah, I agree. I think Giroud needs a partner up there. He needs someone else there to help him out. But look, at least a little bit of pace there by Jimenez as he bursts through. Milan need to do more of that where they can counter-attack.
Jimenez, by no means a familiar face for this Milan team. 5 total appearances in the season just gone. He played most of the season in the Primavera, which is the under-19 team. Perhaps not a surprise he's getting these minutes here to showcase what he can do, and that ball ran long.
Yeah, I think he got the line mixed up, to be honest, because you thought he was actually inside, but definitely was out.
Well, come back tomorrow for the Eagles against the Saints if he wants to play on a bigger pitch. Here's Adli. And now Calabria. Angelino being forced to defend. We haven't seen a great deal of that. He's predominantly been an attacking wing back in this half. Milan are working his flank now. Gabbia. Hernandez. Pobega with Adli. Right up the middle. And the flag is up against Florenzi. He certainly had the crowd hoping that his first touch could end up becoming more.
Yeah, he tried to beat the offside trap there, but he was too late. Better by Milan. But again, you know, when Roma put up that solid bank of 7 or 8 players, it's very, very difficult to break down. And it almost seems like a little bit walking pace for Milan in the back there, so they've got to accelerate.
It's the contrast between the two teams that we've seen develop as the game has gone on. A lot of that comes down to risk. The risk to force a pass, the risk to make a run, or potentially leave a gap exposed at the other end.
Well, in Italian football, you don't want to make a mistake, so both teams are fearful of that. But at some point, you've got to make that risk.
Dybala, crossfield ball, bit of keeping uppy there from Angelino, and then Ndicka matches in kind, flicking over the shoulder. Can they turn this into more here, Roma? Dybala, Bove. The little sidestep was clever, and then Abraham left flat-footed by a pass forced his way.
Yeah, Bove's been another player that's impressed me. I like how he can change his speed when he gets the ball, so it looks as if he's walking, and then within a second he's quickly moving the ball really quick so he can move play.
Just over 10 minutes of regulation until half-time. Plenty of time for Milan to conjure up a response to Tommaso Baldanzi's opener. Florenzi. A change of wingers has done wonders for him. Jimenez has perhaps faded a little bit out of the game, so it doesn't matter which winger's on the left flank. That seems to be where Milan have had the most joy.
And it keeps the defenders guessing as well. When you're changing, you don't want to get used, you know, a defender doesn't want to get used to you. So keep him thinking, keep moving the ball, and accelerate inside and outside.
Pobega. He's got Florenzi for company over on the wing, but doesn't like any of his options ahead of the ball. Back to Adli. Hernandez. Reinders. And now Alex Jimenez. He's trying to show us his speed. The two Spanish players now one against the other. Jimenez was a shallow cross in, and Heisen was able to block it away. Adli changing the pace of the attack. One aggressive pass is what did it. And now he's limited down on the wing, so he sends it back. Reinders. And then 2 Milan players left the ball. Adli refusing to give up on this passage of play, though. And the volley! What a strike! Theo Hernandez has unleashed fury! Milan level with an absolute stunner! And every fan in red and black will remember that tonight in Perth.
Oh, look, I'm still in shock. What a strike. you talk about technique, but he actually lined it up. He's seen it coming over and just was the weight of that strike, low and hard. I mean, the keeper didn't even flinch. It was in back of the net by the time the keeper could even look at it. Great technique on Teo, and even gave it some spin on it. Must say that the ball over was absolutely brilliant.
How technically difficult is that to pull off? First time strike at that worm-burning grass level.
Well, look, that's why these two great sides have come here. I mean, you do those drills in training where you cross the ball over, and I can assure you, in training, they're normally going over the goalpost or they're way wide, but that was just executed. Absolutely beautiful. Great goal.
Well, Teo Hernandez, a Milan favourite, rumoured to be subject to a potential €80 million bid by Bayern Munich this week. Of course, the silly season, and many Milan fans were quick to make their thoughts that it was just silly season, but that is the sort of highlight that will have Vincent Kompany, the new Bayern Munich manager, perhaps just thinking 80 million could be a bargain.
Well, it could be 81 after that goal, because that was worth $1 million, that strike. Absolute brilliant shot.
Of course, Milan will be desperate to keep hold of him as one of their leading lights. 162 Serie A appearances and 27 goals for the French international, who, of course, was part of that French team that went all the way to the World Cup final in 2022.
I will also say that the crossover for Beauvais was also really good. I'm not sure who crossed that over, whether it was Gimenez, but Reinders was there and they were doing the interchange there, and just the ball over. It's almost like they were looking for each other, so absolute joy to see that.
And there's the celebration. Tea drinking, I think. There's very polite cheers between the trio. Might be something a little stiffer than tea after the full-time whistle when the off-season officially begins.
Well, that's great. You know, you come to watch these two sides, and you know, you talk about how skillful and brilliant and technical, and that was all in that action, all those three words.
And so Roma, who had been making a lot of the play, now find their lead equalised, and they want to take it back to half-time. Angelino. Got to say, he's come out and he's played with the intensity of knowing that he has to redouble his efforts to impress his fan base. It's one thing to be at a club on loan, it's another to be signed permanently. And you can just tell he's bringing a different energy to this game, with his future having been secured on this Australian trip.
Absolutely, and he's got pace. He's special. There's something about him, and you're right. You know, when you're coming over as a loan, you want to secure your deal, and he's been okay tonight. So far, we've seen passages. That's been very, very good.
Tammy Abraham has run himself into a 1-on-3 here. Close control, obviously very demanding.
He's got good feet, Abraham. He can keep the ball. When you think he's going to lose it, he somehow just, gets his pass across.
He only returned from his long layoff with that knee reconstruction in April, so he's already strung together a dozen games at the end of the league season. Building a base of fitness, and whether it's with Roma or elsewhere, he's showing that he's still very sharp in this match tonight. Calabria. Final 5 minutes of the first half. It's been a good one already at Optus Stadium here, and Milan want another goal. Calabria continues his run. It's an excellent save. Miles Villa reached up and clawed it away to deny Milan a 2-1 lead.
Oh, look, great save, but I just think he picked the wrong option. You know, that needed a cutback. You could see Giroud just trying to find his little spot. It needed to be cut back.
Adley. And now space for Roma's goal scorer, Baldanzi. Awa. Hyson, and now Ndika lifts it across, and it's just beyond any potential lunge from Abraham.
That was a good ball, actually. You know, Abraham needs to peel off around there, but that was probably the best cross so far that I've seen.
Here's another look at that save from Miles Villa.
Oh, yeah, you can see Giroud there just wanting that ball. I think that needed to be cut back.
You can see the look on his face. He wants a goal. I mean, it's a game where the competitive juices are very much flowing. Olivier Giroud wants his 50th goal in Milan colours. Doesn't matter if it's an end-of-season showcase. He might be played in here. Alex Jimenez, and now Reinders. Giroud making position at the edge of the 6-yard box, but the ball isn't coming his way, at least not yet. Hanging up now, Giroud made it a contest. Alex Jimenez at the fall, and the flag is up over on the outer side for offside.
Good passage of play again, Teo. I'm liking Reinders and Jimenez. They've got a good understanding, good pace, good movement. And Giroud, you're right, he's just wanting a goal. And geez, he's a real handful in the air. When the ball comes over, he's wrestling there. But I'd like to see Milan bring another player on to partner him for the second half.
Bove has to be careful not to get caught here. Milan had numbers ready to break, but he showed good awareness, and he should be match-hardened. Bove, one of Roma's highest minutes, highest appearance players of the season just completed, and he's still full of running and energy. Baldanzi. A handful of minutes to make something happen at the end of the first half. Dybala. Now Angelino. Kusamawa. He's looking for the right pass here. Now he takes the shot. Almost like he surveyed all of his options, and ultimately letting fly was the last of those.
Great ball by Dybala again, that crossfield pass. But he was shaping up there, but just way too high for that shot.
Like many young French Algerians, Kusamawa was dubbed a potential next Zidane when he was a teenager. It's his first season at Roma after joining from Lyon, and it was definitely affected by injury. He missed all the way from November to March. A heap of games with an adductor, so he'll be determined to show his quality after a couple of basically seasons on the treatment table, his last one at Lyon and his first one at Roma. The talent is undeniable.
Yeah, and he's missed a big chunk of the season. You almost get forgotten, and you almost got to start again from scratch to kind of showcase yourself.
Giroud, classic centre forward, target man work. Hernandez has one. Can't quite find the corner there, but every time the ball goes near that number 19, the crowd is going to rise with anticipation.
Yeah, look, again, just got some power on that shot. You know, he just took one step really, and just really he's got great technique. But again, what about the header by Giroud just to lay it back to Hernandez to allow that shot?
See, that when you're hot, you're hot. Why wouldn't you just shoot from anywhere after his last attempt on goal? Fourth official tonight is Western Australia's own Shane Skinner, and he signals one additional minute to end this very entertaining first 45 minutes. And the teams find themselves level. Roma want to change all that right here. The early ball. Abraham not quite on his bike. Kalulu able to double back in time, and his central defender Gavia has coughed up possession. Really dangerous. Kusamawa made the intercept, and now it sits up for Dybala. Milan back in numbers, and the header is battered away. Sportiello with a redemptive moment.
Oh, what a great passage of play. Great work there by Dybala. Great save. That was a really good header, but a great save.
And now Milan trapped down at right back. 1 minute of stoppage time. It's absolutely been set off like the pre-game fireworks.
Yeah, look, we said that before the game, there'd be end-to-end. Fantastic save. Great header there.
Well, he was able to direct it to one of his teammates. I mean, that facial expression says he's nonplussed, but it's almost like volleyball level skill there to find a teammate rather than an opponent. It matters not! Tammy Abraham has put Roma into a 2-1 lead. Right on the stroke of half-time. The Giallorossi were not to be denied, and it's their English marksman who puts them in front again.
Yeah, look, he's been searching for a goal, and I must say, Roma have probably edged it. They probably deserved to be 2-1 up, but Again, another good passage of play. You seen the header just a minute ago, but that was a good finish.
And really, who else but Angelino to get the assist after the first half that he's had?
Yeah, we talked about him. Again, the acceleration, the ball's coming across. So, again, he's proving to be that guy that Milan are wanting. But again, he just measures that across. And a good finish. That's not easy. It's good technique.
The 11-cap England international, he'll be hoping there are plenty more in the future as he refines his feet in senior football. And so that's the goal that separates the two teams. The half-time whistle going in the aftermath of Roma's second goal. And at Optus Stadium in Perth, we have been richly entertained by the spectacle between these two giants of Serie A. Looks as though there's a bit of discussion about swapping shirts already. That half-time score, Milan 1, Roma 2. Stay with us, the halftime show is coming up on the other side of this short break.
Please give a big warm welcome to our many rooms heading out on the bench right now. We're here tonight representing a number of local clubs in the local surrounding areas. Have fun, many rooms.
Welcome back to live coverage of Milan and Roma doing battle in Perth, Western Australia. Those are some of the emotions through 45 minutes of action, with Roma leading 2-1 at half-time. This stadium is always a picture. 50,000 plus, absolutely loving the fare on offer in Western Australia. A beautiful day, an even better night, and what a venue befitting of a moment like this. Two iconic teams, and you can see the merchandise. Many of these fans will have already had their own merch, but if you turned up without your Milan scarf or your Roma jersey, you were able to buy them outside the venue, and it really does look like a European venue here with the colour and the spectacle that's been on offer. And the game, soccer great Stan Lazaridis has been able to match in terms of both its quality and also a bit of the showmanship you might expect on this stage.
Yeah, look, there's a level of respect between these two sides. Game started off slow, but it really finished in a flurry, and there's end-to-end chances. Deflection we've just seen there, but some of the goals tonight that we've seen so far is just outstanding. Dybala's been awesome. Reinders has been great. See Bovo's get in there. Belzani there with that goal. Keeper should have done better there. But overall, the fans should be really happy with what they've seen so far.
So that was the opening goal for Tommaso Baldanzi, the 21-year-old current Italian under-21 international, a name to remember for the future. He saw the fun in putting Roma in front, and then Milan, well, they were charged with finding a response, because Roma at that point had been making the play and were pretty good value for their lead. Yeah,
they were the better side by far, and Milan were huffing and puffing, and they were trying to get up there, and Giroud was frustrated, as you could see there. He was wanting the ball earlier. And they showed snippets, and then they mixed it up a little bit by changing the wingers to try and inject a little bit of pace and to try and get Giroud more action. Now
this goal, we were discussing before coming back to watch not just the strike, but the build-up, the cross from Yacine Adli. That's not a corner kick. He goes and retrieves a loose ball down in the corner to play that cross.
No, absolutely, Teo. And it's not just a hopeful cross. He's actually picked him out. I mean, you've got to execute it as well. And just seeing that there, absolute awesome.
And then we weren't done. 1-1 the score. Great save from Milos Svilar to stop Milan taking the lead, and Roma would be the beneficiaries as they would take the lead to half-time.
Yeah, look, that should have been a cutback. You've seen Giroud's expression there going, just cut it back to me, I want to score.
And then right at the end of the half, there was only 1 minute of stoppage time, but it's almost like that sparked the game, and both teams knew that with only limited time to go, they had to hustle, and Angelino, who'd been prominent throughout the game, laid off the assist for Tammy Abraham.
Yeah, look, excellent finish. The weight of the pass again by Dybala to Angelino, and then the cutback and a good finish by Abraham. He just really got his foot around that and just got the whip in. And again, by the time the keeper could see it, it was in the back of the net.
Another confidence booster for the English striker on his return to football from a torn ACL. So 2-1, Roma in front at half-time. Ryan Daniels has found a very special guest down at pitch level.
Oh, what a treat we have now. One of the all-time greats of football, Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Zlatan, thank you so much for giving us some of your time tonight. Welcome to Perth. What do you think of this wonderful city, this wonderful country?
I think it's amazing. First time I'm here, and I had an amazing trip. I went to visit some different spots, saw different animals, which I haven't seen live, kangaroos and all these things. So we're super happy. We had a good trip so far, so let's hope we have a good game also, and we're just enjoying.
You obviously had such a fantastic time yourself at AC Milan. I mean, when you come around the world and you see the reception that this club it's a very special football club.
It is. I mean, the history that the club has, the players that played for the club, and you can see that all over the world it means a lot, and the history is there. So we're just happy to be here so they can see us live also, because it's not like every day you are in our home ground and see us play. So this is an opportunity for the other part of the world to see the club from close.
I've always wanted to ask you this, a quick question. What is the secret to being Zlatan?
You just need to be Zlatan. That's the secret.
Thank you so much for your time. Enjoy the rest of the game.
Thank you.
He's always got an answer for everything. He is currently a senior advisor to the club ownership. He'll have an important role building Milan for next season. And that build starts with 45 more minutes of this game. On the other side of this short break, stay with us. Welcome back to Optus Stadium in Perth. Both teams out onto the arena for the second half of this showdown between Serie A giants. Roma 2 lead Milan 1. It's not incongruous with the form line that we've seen so far this season. It's exactly the same score as when they met on April the 18th in the second leg of the Europa League, when Mancini and Dybala scored the goals for Roma. Now, what substitutions are we about to see? Players a little eager to get into the game. Yunus Musa there, the number 80, the United States international, and also Noah Okafor, the Swiss international striker. We've also got Davide Bartasaghi, the 18-year-old out of the Italy under-19 team. And the Iran legend Sardar Azmoun set to come on. So it's Central Station down on the sidelines. Milan also making a goalkeeper switch as well, amongst those 5 half-time substitutes. There's the new keeper, Lapo Nava, who made his Serie A debut in the final round of the season against Salernitana and unfortunately conceded within a minute. He'll be hoping it goes a little bit better here in Perth. But Fikayo Tomori also comes on. So a star-studded half-time array of substitutions there. A US international, an England international, a Swiss international. No shortage of talent in these two squads. Kick-off at the start of the second half. Soccer great Stan Lazaridis joins me here in commentary. And Stan, 5 changes for Milan. We will recap, I believe, only 1 for Roma, but it looks like it's going to be a very different Milan team for the second 45.
Yeah, look, I think we're going to expect this, but look, the way the game finished in the first half, hopefully we see more of that, because there were some really good plays there towards the end of that half.
Here's Beauvais, can confirm that Sardar Azmoun came on for Roma's most recent goal scorer, Tammy Abraham, and it's his last appearance in a Roma shirt, because the club has already publicly announced they won't be making his transfer permanent. There he is, the number 17, more than 80 caps and more than 50 international goals for the Iran national team. And he's rumoured to be joining Sevilla in Spain. So this is his Roma farewell. And he would have been enough of a draw card that I think any Iranian in Perth would be here tonight, if not making the trip just to watch Sardar Azmoun play. He's such a superstar in his country.
Yeah, it's amazing with both these sides that they have these great players, and then at the end of their seasons they're almost given back, or they don't take the option because it's so expensive to buy them.
And in Azmoun's case, we'll stay with play. Reinders accelerating towards the penalty area. Tijani Reinders wants to go all the way himself, and Milan hit the post. Well, agonisingly close to the equalizer there. And Luka Okafor, at the end of that run from Tijani Reinders, found the woodwork.
Yeah, what a run by Reinders. Now, I've been seeing his praises during the whole game. Great save. The keeper's got a good fingertips there. But the run by Reinders, he's weaved to 2 or 3 players. Magnificent save by the keeper.
Well, he was Milan's most proactive player in that first half. And they're not done yet here. Okafor lurking again.
Good changes, good energy. AC Milan putting some speed into the game.
It's what we were calling for a lot of that first half. Once Roma showed what they were capable of when they turned up the heat, Milan needed to match it. Kusamawa moves the ball out to the right flank. Here's Paulo Dybala. Can he take a start? Turn of his own. Oh, nearly in for an own goal. Outside of the boot cross, had everyone scrambling.
It just wreaks havoc, Dybala. When he's on the ball, you know, you just backpedal. You see the Milan players, they don't want to dive in because he's so good. And again, yeah, that was just missing the post there.
It's not the introduction to the game that Fikayo Tomori was hoping for. Here's the resulting corner. And Smalling with a great chance to give Roma a 3-1 lead. A very close range header.
He should have finished that. That's a magnificent cross. Yeah, he's got to finish that. That's bread and butter for Smalling. he's a quality player and really good in the air, but that was a magnificent cross. Should be 3-1 to Roma.
Smalling, who went public with his frustration at his injury status. He has chronic knee pain that cost him from September to February in the season just finished, and he expressed his determination to see out the final year of his Roma contract, which is next season, and that he still thinks he's got good football in him at 34 years of age. Absolutely no thought of retiring, absolutely no thought of throwing in the towel, but chronic knee pain that keeps you out for that long can be quite a serious ailment.
It's tough. We'll see a change here.
And Dybala thinking about a shot on sight against the new goalkeeper Lapo Nava, but the 20-year-old is equal to it.
Yeah, I think he was trying to chip him and then realised he was too far back. But no, with Smalling, we're just talking just then. You'll find that Roma will want to replace Smalling. They won't take a risk for next season.
Adley provided the assist for Teo Hernandez's goal in the first half, but Pobega can't keep possession here. Dybala. Now Baldanzi, Roma's first goal scorer of the night. Sara Azmoun. A cut back inside. Llorente trying to judge the bounce of the ball. It nearly sat up for him. Very awkward in the penalty area. It just kept bouncing and bouncing, and Optus Stadium is known for at times a hard surface, but must be said it's played exceptionally well so far tonight. Reinders. Yunus Musa. Pobega. Now Alex Jimenez. And the shot's on here. Oh, that was hunting the top left corner. A spectacular drive. And just wide of the target in the end.
Yeah, I'm surprised again. Roma's just standing back and allowing Jimenez just to take that free shot. But that's not missing by far. Look at that. Just goes past the post. But I have to say, I love watching Reinders just accelerate with the ball. We talk about him, Dybala, Jimenez, Bove. You know, these sort of players, they're exciting. They make things happen. And at the moment, it's still end-to-end.
That was Davide Bartasaghi with the attempt. He'll actually link up with the Italy under-19s for their European Championships when he returns at the end of this trip. He's never scored for the Milan senior team, but he's only made 8 senior appearances. Roma have a 3-on-3 if they're quick enough here. Aouar. He's got one to the left, one to the right, and now the Milan midfield backtrack to make it a 3-on-6. So they weren't quite rapid on the fast break. Baldanzi. It might still lead to something, though. And the shot is scooped over the bar by Dybala.
Great play again. Just that acceleration again. The triangles in the passing, quick movement. You can see the game spread a bit. And again, we see that shot there. It's well wide.
Adley. Musa. Yunus Musa. And just telegraphed the pass, but Milan will still retrieve the ball. Okafor. That's clever from Reinders. Has the ball on a string. Adley. Pobega. Fancies a long shot. Oh, and it's nearly beaten the keeper. A bobble, a fumble, and out for a corner kick, and blushes spared.
Not quite sure what's happening in that goals there, but the same thing happened in the first half where the Baldanzi scored. But yeah, again, that keeper got lucky there.
Tommaso Pobega. Here's the resulting corner, cleared away. Azmoun starting deep in midfield. Roma on the move. Crossfield ball headed away. Angelino drives it and scores! A goal to add to his assist. It's been quite the night out for Angelino. And in the week, he made his transfer to Roma permanent. He is endearing himself to the Giallorossi. It's 3-1.
Yeah, we're right behind that. Absolute great technique again. Got a slight deflection, but he's deserved the goal. And again, it's quick movement by Roma to transition play.
Didn't score a goal for Roma in his 18 appearances this season. It's the first time he's found the back of the net since he was playing in Turkey for Galatasaray back in 2023.
Yeah, look, I think Roma's shown excellent intent in this second half. They're moving the ball quicker and they're just transitioning much faster than Milan. But I'm sure there's going to be more goals.
Well, the spirit and intent with which these two teams have played has been everything you could hope for from a showcase game like this. And the fact there could be more goals on the way is indicative of that! Because Okafor has pegged one back for Milan from kickoff. And after he was foiled by the woodwork earlier in the half, he's all business here, making the score 3-2. And the shootout continues.
Sure is. I mean, we just have had a second there, and great transitional play there. The weaving just in and out here, and just lays the ball through. Great finish. Yeah, keeper no chance.
And the 24-year-old Swiss international, his first season at Milan after joining from Red Bull Salzburg. And he's the one player that Roma fans may not necessarily dislike for one very specific reason. He scored in both games against Roma's arch-rival Lazio during the Serie A season. So if there's one Milan player that Roma fans can probably understand scoring against them, it's Okafor.
Yeah, and we'll say, given his run there, we didn't say much about that, but he's one weaving in and out to allow that to happen.
Roma making a couple of subs here. There is one of the young talents they've bought. Llorente's night is over. He will return to his parent club, Leeds United, now, who are keen to sell him. So watch this space. They have bought on William Fiola, the 18-year-old, who is yet to make a first-team appearance. He's a right-back and centre-back who's been with the Roma youth teams for some years. He's sat on the senior bench, but has never made a senior appearance. So Fiola is one of the two players that comes on.
Yeah, it's a good opportunity for the coach to have a look at these players.
And as that ball runs down to the corner, it's very eagerly contested.
Yeah, there's goodwill there, and that's good to see because, you know, this is a friendly game and they're chasing what I call the lost cause there, and they made sure that, I think that was the sub that came on.
Well, eagle-eyed refereeing. Yep, off the shin, out for a corner. Great work by Arvin Shanmuganathan over on the outer side. Here's the resulting corner. Trying to go direct on goal, and it's batted out. Clawed away by Lapo Nava, nearly at Olympico. And now the shot's there for 5. This game is going to another level. Paulo Dybala would not be denied his goal. We are being treated to a true spectacle here at Optus Stadium as Roma find the back of the net yet again.
Oh, you've got to love Dybala. What about the corner kick? I mean, it's a great save of the corner kick. Have a look here. Absolute cracking corner, and just have a look at him here. Takes a past the player with a touch, another touch, and just that finish. That's world class. I'm not sure how Argentina have left him out of their side.
Well, he's always been a special talent, Paulo Dybala. It's hard to believe, given his youthful disposition, that he is now 30 years old. 324 games in Serie A, 123 goals, and a splendid career.
Yeah, what a goal, though. I mean, if you can watch that goal over and over again, and just the corner kick alone, he knew the keeper was actually off his line. If you have a look on the replays when we get a moment, you could see if I hit this Nolan hard, I've got a chance. And then the finish, spectacular.
So just get your bearings. The score is 4-2. 3 goals in 4 minutes of game time. It's been a furious end-to-end contest, and Milan don't want to be shown up here. They've seen the number of red and black shirts in the stands. They've lived it in Perth during the week. They know that fans from all corners of Australia have made their way west to cheer them on in this game, and they don't want to send them home disappointed. Yunus Musa is going to shoot from distance. Oh, that had such promising trajectory.
Good shot. I mean, good technique, good weight. He didn't really have much backlift there, so have a look at the technique there. Just really goes through the ball.
And that has been one thing that has been on show so often tonight, just the skill, the quality of the skill of the players.
Yeah, you're right, Taylor. Yes, a lot of these games, they can be a bit of a nothing sort of game, but this is certainly living up to the spectacle that we're hoping it was going to be. But and it's not. Look, these guys are still going at each other.
And in the midst of all these goals flying in, 56,522 was shown on the big screen here as the attendance. So a really bumper crowd as well for this one night only affair. And safe to say, this will make waves around the rest of Serie A, Italian football. Juventus have come out here a couple of times for friendlies and marquee games, and we've seen Roma as part of the International Champions Cup, which was in the mid-2010s, but two teams playing against each other at a really remarkable venue like this. I feel as though this will really whet the appetite for more, because it's been a pretty special occasion.
Yeah, I'd have to say this has probably been one of the best games. We've seen many here, but certainly the level of the goals, the quality, the skill.
So we see an ambitious crossfield pass, which will tail out, and we're only at the hour mark. Plenty to think about in the remaining half an hour. More twists and turns perhaps on the way. What do the coaches even think or even shout or try from the sidelines when it's just such a free exchange of goals back and forth like that?
Well, look, there's nothing on the line. I guess they're looking at the players to express themselves, go out there, show what they can do. I mean, you know, you're seeing the level of the goals that have been put away. Yeah, you know, I'm repeating myself, but the technique, the skill, it's just so hard to coach.
Really crowded top of the penalty area. Reinders finds space where there was none. Tijani Reinders trying to turn onto his right foot. Pobega batted down, saved. And Roma keep the score at 4-2.
He's just such a good player, Reinders. I mean, he's at the heart of everything Milan do, and Dybala's at the heart of everything Roma do. So it's just two great players on opposing sides that we're lucky to watch.
Milan trying to win the ball in an advanced position here. The press is aggressive and very much on. It's cleared by Evan and Dicker, and Sada Azmoun is his outlet. Bove. Azmoun. Flag stays down. It's been threaded through to Houssam Aouar. It's Aouar on the tight angle, and then he was caught from the blind side. Adley got back and was able to make the tackle.
Yeah, look, he cut it back and just went to pull the trigger, and Adley did really well just to nick the ball there. Good defending.
It's Daniele De Rossi still chewing his fingernails. Plenty to ponder. He's put his goalkeeper Pietro Boer in between the sticks, replacing Mile Svila, and he might be called into action right here. The sidesteps are plenty were coming from Okafor.
Yeah, he looks tidy. Okafor, you know, he weaves in and out. He's got good close ball control.
It's a chance to draw breath for everyone as Roma just control the tempo in midfield. Reinders there, just standing and watching as Dybala plays the ball to Smalling.
And it's good, you know, they're slowing the game up, just regrouping, and again, they're going again.
As the ball runs long, so Roma's goalkeeper Pietro Boer signed from Venezia in 2018. In that time, he has made one appearance for Roma, and that was in 2020 in the Europa League. So he very much the life of a backup goalkeeper. You've got to be professional, you've got to train every day. But there's also the reality that if you're the third or fourth choice keeper for your club, if they don't send you out on loan, you've just got to be there ready and waiting for that call.
Yeah, look, some keepers like it, though. Be at a big club, waiting for your chance, and you know, sometimes you wait a couple of years, and sometimes it just happens in a month. So It's just the joys of being a keeper.
He's only 22, Pietro Boer, so even though he's been at Roma for the best part of 6 years, he's still got time on his side. This could be the start of something right here tonight. Musa. Adley saw a pass to Reinders. Now the relay over to the left side. Doesn't quite work out for Batasagi, who's already shown us what he's capable of with that shot earlier in the half.
Yeah, look, I'm liking Adley as well. He's got a great way to pass.
Bove keeps possession, has Angelino on the left, sends him wide down to the corner. Angelino, Bove, and now Angelino again. And the cross was straight onto the head of the defender, not really to the advantage of any of his attackers in the middle. Hyson goes and retrieves possession.
Yeah, Angelino's got to beat the first man there. Particularly when you get yourself that high up, you've just got to get that ball over that first defender.
And now turning on the ball, given space. Red alert here for the Milan defence, and Tomori made a block at the last second. It's a driving run to the edge of the box. Milan are preparing another double change. We'll see that perhaps at the next break and play. But given the frequency of goals, the next break and play might be another goal. Pabega. Now Alex Jimenez. This be potentially his last involvement in the game. Adley. Reinders. Will he be tempted to shoot from distance? Parried, and Boer has his moment as he makes the save. Danger not yet averted. Alex Jimenez. Dancing on the ball, Jimenez. And it's just over the head of the attacker in the middle. Hooked away by Azmoun. Not too far, though. Pabega, edge of the box. Reinders once more. Okafor. Reinders blocked away. And out for a throw. Relief for the Roma defence.
Oh, he's just so good, Reinders. I mean, the shot before, again, you're seeing it now. Good save by Ball. And then he's got the ball again for a second time, but the interchange again by Reinders is just outstanding.
And so Tommaso Pabega's number is up. He'll be leaving the game here for young winger Kevin Zeroli. And is that Reinders' last involvement? I think the warm applause of the fans tells you that it is. There's Kevin Zeroli, Italian youth international, who is also eligible for Nigeria through his mother. And also the Italian under-21 international is coming on here, Filippo Terracciano. He replaces Tijani Reinders at about 2/3 of the way through tonight's action.
Yeah, look, I would have loved to see Reinders finish off the game, but he was absolutely outstanding.
Adley went to ground in instalments. Referee, no thoughts of a foul, and now the counter-attack is on. Fresh legs for Roma making a run through the middle. Nava had to be confident, and he cleared it away from the youngster Manuel Nardozi, who was leading the charge. Dybala cuts it inside. Sada Azmoun is immediately confronted by Zeroli, the most recent Milan sub. The cross comes in, and the shot on the spin, and that's the youngster Manuel Nardozi, just 18 years of age. He's the under-18 team top scorer, 12 in 23.
Yeah, look, he got himself into a good position. Just rush of blood there. Just snapping at that shot.
Here's a look at Adley's run before, where he was trying to sell a foul, and the referee didn't show an interest. Great footwork as he weaved through. They had to foul him to stop it.
Yeah, look, he's a good player.
And now into the box goes Jimenez, and Boer is sure-handed with Hyson there right on top of it.
Yeah, Boer's been good. But Jimenez, again, he's been outstanding tonight. Showing the pace, trickery. Puts in a lot of crosses, low and hard.
Real Madrid fans, spoilt for trophies and young, talented players. He's feeling pretty good about their loanee at Milan. Roma are about to make a couple of subs and introduce us to a few more of their youngsters that they've brought on this trip to Australia. With a 4-2 buffer, there is a tipping point, Stan. If they bring on too many kids, Milan have got a lot of senior international talent out there. The comeback might be on.
Yeah, look, and Milan, they've had a number of shots saved, and it could easily be 4-4 as well. But the spectacle has been outstanding for us.
So whose number will be up as Roma? You know, when you've got the kit number 80 and 81, you're the future. You're not the present unless you've gone and specifically asked for it. Here's Dybala in close quarters with Angelino, Evan and Dicker. Usamawa. So he's keeping off at the moment for Roma, and they're doing so with relative ease. Back to the header that Smalling missed earlier in the half. Roma's still been able to power away, score 2 since then in the meantime. That was at 2-1 the score. Big little turn on the ball. Touched back inside by Azmoun. Oh, clever little step over back heel. Dybala bringing out all the tricks, but the counter-attack is going to slingshot down the other end. Adley. Can he bring Okafor into the equation? He's got 2 defenders to contend with, and Bove did exceptionally well, and he's fouled on his way out of the box, advantage given.
Yeah, good defending, but he should have, he needed to shoot there straight away. It was a good counter-attack. I was surprised that Adley didn't take that on his own and shot, because he's got a great shot.
So Angelino, scorer of Roma's 4th goal. He'll be coming off here for Mattia Della Rocca. And it's also number up for Dean Hyson, the Spanish youth international on loan from Juventus. And he will be replaced here by Marco Liti. Liti, just 17 years old. I mean, you can see the youthfulness of these boys as they are subbed onto the pitch. He's a former Italian under-16 international. And Mattia Della Rocca, more than 20 goals for the Roma youth teams over his journey from the under-15s up to the under-18s. A thought or two on Angelino and Hyson as they leave the game.
Both had really good games. I think, in particular, Angelino, I think he was outstanding for the first 5 minutes. Scored a good goal, so I think Roma would be very happy that they've secured his services, so good night.
Imagine you're 17 or 18 years old. You don't even play for the Primavera, the under-19s. You play for the under-18s. And you're on the other side of the world playing in front of 56,000 fans. Must be a great thrill for these young Roma boys.
Yeah, and they're gracing their field with players like Dybala. You know, they'll remember that forever and a day.
Could be formative moments in long professional careers. As we see Zaroli here, unable to keep possession. He's chasing from the front, though. Kevin Zaroli on with a bit of energy. Roma back in the other direction. Azmoun tried for the 1-2. Still got a boot in. Dybala. He wanted it at his feet. Aouar, the touch on. It'll sit up. Kusamawa drives it wide.
Yeah, good interchange again. Dybala at the heart of it. What a player. What a night. He's probably been man of the match for me. Himself and Reinders has just been outstanding.
There's another look at the tight angle that Kusamawa was trying to work with. We spoke in the first half about how he's had a couple of cursed years with injury, but these are precious minutes in the legs. And you speak about the value of being out there for some of the youngsters. Just being out there in the Roma shirt and, you know, being familiar with the teammates is priceless for someone like Aouar as well.
Yeah, look, these guys, you play against them with great players. You're in awe. You know, you want to do everything they do. You copy them, you mimic them, you train like them, and it's their dream.
Promising ball through the left. Batasagi getting forward, shoots on the tight angle. Boer saves away. There's nothing really on in the middle, so you can't blame him for going for it. There's such an acute angle there. Second shot of the night. Batasagi. Here's Zaroli. And they continue to build. They've subbed on Jan Carlos Simic, the Serbian under-19 international, into the game. He scored on his debut against Monza during the season, so we know what he's capable of right here, the number 82 on the ball. Musa. Now Tamori. Milan. Working through the gears. Batasagi. The cross was teasing. Zaroli couldn't make ground.
Does an excellent cross, Batasagi. He's been really good. That cross is absolutely perfect. Keeper can't come out to it. Behind the defenders, you're just wanting one of your strikers to slide in there.
And that was the shot. So one shot off target, one shot on for Batasagi, and now that cross flashing through the penalty area as well. He's building a good body of work down that left-hand side, and with 15 minutes to go, Milan are showing that there is plenty left in this one. Zaroli. Alex Jimenez, one of the few starters still out there, as is Yassine Adli. Well, Adli coughed up the ball. He's trying to go and win it back, and he's made it a contest.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that skill was, but he's been very good as well. But look, there's a bit of energy now for AC Milan, so I'm sure you're going to see more chances. It's game's not over, that's for sure.
Musa. Sidestep in midfield and then showed a lot of the ball, but he's able to rake it in and keep it again. Yunus Musa wants to do it all himself here. Now the cut back. Very physical play in the penalty area. It was Zaroli knocking over Chris Smalling. And Smalling saying to Ali Reza Fagani, don't forget your whistle.
Yeah, look, good defending by Smalling. It's very tight there. Very hard to weave, but I think Musa just needed to really get that crossover earlier. Yeah, it's good defending by Smalling. He was fouled.
That senior head might be vital to Roma keeping hold of this lead, because the game is now taking place almost entirely in Milan's half, and Roma are consigned somewhat to the counter-attack. That may yet suit them, though, given the young speedsters that are out there. Case in point. Here is Della Rocca. Dybala.
It was a great overlapping run there by the left fullback, it must be said, but Dybala didn't see it.
In the centre instead, Nardozi. Here he is again, Manuel Nardozi plays it back to Smalling. Dybala, ball on a string. Azmoun trying to match, and now in the pocket here, Azmoun! It's 5 for Roma, and Sada Azmoun, in what will be his final appearance for the Giallorossi, has his farewell goal.
Great finish. Dybala again, you called it, ball on a string, weaves through a couple of players, through to Azmoun, and he's smiling, so he should be. Great strength, just gets away from the players, picks the corner. Off the post, but good strike, good goal.
Well, given his talent, it's no surprise that Sevilla are interested. The German champions Bayer Leverkusen owned his contract, but it does seem as though he'll be finding a new home somewhere in football, and why not use this stage to show what you're capable of?
Yeah, look, it's excellent player, but again, Dybala creating that, but you know, good players, they always want the ball. They don't care what position they're in. Two players around them, one player, it doesn't matter.
And even though we talked up the prospects of a Milan comeback, it's actually Roma, Stan, that extend their lead. So, dare I ask, with 13 minutes to go, is 5-2 a match-winning lead in a game like this?
Oh, it's hard to say. I mean, it was all Milan there for about 10 minutes, and they had a number of chances, and good saves by Bora, must be said. But when Dybala gets on the ball, he just creates things. And that goal there by Azmoun, absolute quality again. Just showcasing tonight. So many good players out there. What a real treat.
Who knows? It might not be too long before we see Sada Azmoun back on Australian shores, depending on who the Socceroos get in their next round of World Cup qualifying. Dare I speak such a thing into existence as an Australia versus Iran World Cup qualifier?
Yeah, it's a sore point, that one, Tao.
Well, actually, let's take this opportunity, Stan, because you yourself have played for the Socceroos against Milan. We'll come back to that after this piece of attacking play right here, because Litti wants to show us what he can do, breaking down the left. And now Bove. Samoa. Roma just patient for now, and Milan sit in behind the ball. They've got a triple sub lined up at the next break in play as it comes to nothing. But 1993, the Socceroos played Milan in 2 games, one in Sydney and one in Melbourne. And what are your recollections? Because you were in the Socceroos team that played against some of, in that era, the grande Milan teams.
Sure was. I mean, the likes of Baresi, Costa Curta. Oh, look, they had a Van Basten came, Hullet, Donadoni. Outstanding side. It was such a spectacle. Huge crowds.
And now, some 30 years later, Milan trying to dazzle again. It's Jimenez! Blocked away. Nearly a road back into the contest.
Yeah, good play by Jimenez. Another counter-attack on here.
And it's being led by Manuel Nardozzi. He's really shown a bit since coming on. Nardozzi, slipped the pass a little hot for Sada Azmoun. And now Adli coming back the other way. This triple Roma sub, they all wait and watch the ball go end to end. They just want to get out there and be a part of this. Milan want a goal back. Batasagi. He's got Okafor in the box. Yassin Adli now. Adli cuts inside. And again, another vital block. Evan and Dicker is in the wars at the moment. He's a magnet to the ball. Adli, second time of asking. Great step around. He does it again. He's almost imitating Zlatan out there. And he lobs the ball up to the top of the box. How about the volley? Off the woodwork! Alex Jimenez nearly went one better than Teo Hernandez in the first half.
That's incredible what we're witnessing here. What a volley. But what about Adli with all his tricks? Look at that strike. Oh, he's got a deflection. Oh, geez. What a game.
Oh, that would have been the greatest goal ever that Mattia Della Rocca had scored off his backside. What a strike.
Oh, so it was just end-to-end. We've seen the game stretched, and both these teams not letting up. I mean, it could be 5-all, 5-4, 5-3, could be anything. But, oh, look, the technique there on that volley again, great. Adli flicking, faking the shot, making players slide in. Didn't even get to finish the Milan story for you, Taya.
Well, just to finish it off, when you swapped shirts at full time, whose shirt did you get?
I got Roberto Donadoni. I mean, what a legend. And it was just that spectacle. I mean, Milan is just magnetic in what they do around the world and the support they have.
And tonight has been another rejuvenation of that here in Australia. But right now, it's about Roma and a triple sub that we're about to see. Jacopo Mira is coming on, another 17-year-old. 48 appearances for the Roma youth sides, and Evan and Dicker will take his leave after plenty of hard work at the centre of defence. We're also going to see Mattia Almaviva come on. He's a striker. 6 goals in the season just finished for Roma's under-18 team. And we're also going to see Gianmarco Tuminelli, 18 years old. And he joined in 2020 from Bologna, so he's not quite a Roma born and bred like some of the youngsters out there, but still very much part of their youth team. So with a 3-goal buffer, Daniele De Rossi continues to give his young players the experience, and they've made the long trip to Australia, and 3 more teenagers will get 10 minutes in stoppage here. And they're on the march. They might score another goal themselves. Well, a flight of fancy from Mattia Della Rocca.
Yeah, he should have just slid that ball through there, because they were 3 against 2 there. And again, maybe that's just being young, but ball did probably bobble a little bit, but he should have slid that through. But I guess when you're 5-2 up, why not?
Looks like this game could go in any direction, but Roma are showing that their kids are pretty good. And there's a reason perhaps that they've selected these specific youngsters to come on this tour to Australia. I think maturity, I imagine, Stan, would be a big factor when you've got a 19s and 18s, a 16s and a 15s. Yeah, that's about 100 players to choose from. We'll stay with Milan here. Musa leading a one-man charge. And it comes to an end with the very last defender in the line.
Yeah, good defending, but back to your point there, Teo. I mean, you want to see these kids exposed to crowds of 50,000 against Milan. You want to see how they handle the pressure, whether they can handle it, because a lot of these kids can't. And in saying that, they can step up as well. And you know, you don't get overawed. You're in the presence of greatness, and it's a good opportunity.
They may yet be put under some serious heat here by Milan before the full-time whistle. Zeroli, a misplaced pass. And that will allow, you see, Chris Smalling, the one old stager out there. He is absolutely marshalling that defensive line.
Yeah, he's been outstanding. It's just making it very difficult for Milan to break them down.
Zeroli, better this time. On the end of a 1-2, Okafor rolls it out to Jimenez. It'll sit up. Terracciano, more recent Milan subs. Giancarlo Simic. And Malik Tior. Ball over to the right. Moose has been very prominent since coming on. You'd expect nothing less from one of the engine room players of the United States midfield. And he's trying to find a gap where there wasn't one there, attempting to squeeze through a Roma midfield, and that's quite a hard foul on the way back out, won by Mattia Almaviva.
Yeah, look, frustration there, but must be said, great defending by Roma. And you mentioned Smalling just marshalling the troops there. It's his blocks again that stop that passage of play. They're all in two blocks, actually, two blocks of four, just defending and keeping Milan out, making it really hard to weave through.
It's a great photo dug up by the Roma fan accounts on social media of Mattia Almaviva being greeted by Daniele De Rossi during his playing career when he was a young boy. We're talking 7 or 8 years old, and it was side by side with De Rossi giving him his Roma shirt on this trip to Australia. He's still pretty young, but certainly a much more strapping figure than the youngster that was meeting his hero De Rossi about 10 years ago. Here come Milan. Batasagi. Okafor out wide this time, so trying to turn provider. Jags inside, stops and props and goes for glory, and that was always difficult on a time.
Yeah, well defended again, but look, he's been a handful coming on, and I like how he shifts his body to create the angle. There's just too much work to do on that shot. Just he's leaning back when he takes the shot here. You see him weaving, fakes it and just leans back.
And now that all these subs have been made, it's safe to say that the cohesion we saw in the first half will be tested a lot more. These are players from varying arrays of youth teams within the club, and they wouldn't necessarily all train together or know each other's football, so it's going to be a lot more freestyle as we head to the finish line.
Yeah, and I guess that's what the managers want to see. You know, they probably note that they're doing well in their divisions, but you know, you want to put them on the bigger picture here in front of this big crowd and see how they can handle it.
Simic. Now Terracciano. Lead into play. And it just comes to a stall with Malik Tior. Simic having to double back all the way to his goalkeeper.
Great defending again. You've seen the 2s and 3s. It's almost like Roma are hunting in packs. where they're just closing down 2-3 Milan players at once.
Adley hasn't given up on this game by a long shot. He's put in a great 90 for Milan's cause. It will almost certainly be a losing cause. And they're trying to do some cosmetic repair to the score, but Roma perhaps want a sixth. Outside of the foot-through ball was attempted there, and Sada Azmoun, who has one already, not able to run that down.
Yeah, again, great defending by Roma. I just said it a minute ago. 3 around the Milan player, just forcing him back.
All smiles on the Roma bench. Daniele De Rossi knows it's a vital off-season coming up. Roma have Europa League football to offer any new signings that they make during this off-season. It's not quite the Champions League berth they were hoping for, but squeezed into 6th place in the league. Not that they missed out. Diagonal ball here from Jacopo Mira. Really well controlled at the end of the pass. What's on in the middle? Azmoun. A shot on the fly.
Difficult skill. The crossfield pass was outstanding.
Musa shows his speed. Zeroli. Can Milan score one for the road? Okafor lobs it into the danger area, and it's swiped away by Marco Lidi. 3 minutes to finish this one. Maybe that'll rejuvenate Milan here, just to try and chase one more goal. It certainly brought about a goal at the end of the first half. Sivic from a standing start. And he's not able to get the better of a determined Mattia Della Rocca.
Very good defending again. You know, it must be said, the players that have come on are just defending so well for Roma that Milan are just finding it very difficult to get that last pass or cross over.
Adley, clever, and right into the 6-yard box for Zeroli, but defended away. Smalling sticking to his task. Adley forces it through. Terracciano blocked once. Rebounds right back to him. Now he conjures it out to the left, but that's got too much on it.
Gives us time for a breather, but I will say, again, Smalling has just lifted in this second half even more so. Just pulling in these defenders to be close, making it harder for Milan to break through. But the entertainment value has been outstanding, and they haven't let up. You know, just you get a passage of play where they're passing it left and right, and you're going, all right, come on, and then it lifts again, and the Dybala or play like that is just accelerating.
As we just saw there, that shot of Optus Stadium, 56,522 enjoying 7 goals, lots of action. Maybe a few names to remember for the future, depending on what these players go on to do with the Italian national team. We're going to have a late corner here, so maybe Roma can make it 6 of the best in the very last minute of stoppage time here.
Yeah, thrilling night. Yeah, 56,000. A lot of young players coming on for the last 10-20 minutes, but overall, yeah, you can't complain about the level of quality that we've seen during this game.
So is it one last hurrah for Roma? Oh, somehow it didn't go in. It flashes through the 6-yard box, even though there were 3 players lined up trying to get a nibble. And now the second-time ball. Sada Azmoun at the edge of the area. Little back heel was clever, and it deflects. Well, it's going to have a bit of backspin on it, but it matters not. The full-time whistle goes, and it's Roma who salute in Perth. Well, the stadium has been fooled. Daniele De Rossi's been fooled. The pyrotechnics are going off. I think we had a rogue whistle in the crowd, and now Ali Reza Fagani, always one for the limelight, says, there's your full-time whistle, and it does end with Roma winning and pulling away. Handshakes between Daniele Benera and Daniele De Rossi at full-time. A match played in great spirits and a real showcase of the quality of Serie A football. These two global powerhouses came to Perth and absolutely put on a show for us here tonight. The quality of the goals, the quality of the skills, and some of the storylines which anyone whose passion has been ignited by tonight will be able to follow long into the future. A really special occasion at Optus Stadium in Perth, and one that 56,000 fans who came here tonight will not forget for a very long time. And so it ends in this one-night-only affair between Milan and Roma. Milan 2, Roma 5. Stan Lazaridis, what a great night of football.
Oh, look, I'm just trying to catch a breath here. I mean, you know, the game started off a little slow, and we were just wondering what was going to happen, and then it just lit up, and some of the goals that we've witnessed tonight, the speed in transition, players like Reinders and Dybala, outstanding.
Let's go down to the aftermath because Ryan Daniels is in amongst it.
Yes, thanks, guys. I've got Chris Smalling with me. Chris, I tell you what, sometimes when you come to a friendly, you don't know what you're going to see, but you guys, you put on a show.
Yeah, no, I'm glad we had such a great turnout, and it was great that they got to see so many goals and a good match. So it was a good day.
You've only been here for a couple of days, but what do you make of Perth? What do you make of Australia?
Yeah, it was just a brief trip, literally. We've only been here a couple of days, but we've enjoyed it. The welcome we've had at our hotel or when we've been for a walk has been great. So it's been a great experience to be able to come and play in front of our fans so far from home.
And a wonderful way to sort of cap off the season, isn't it? So what happens now?
Yeah, now it's time for a break, and obviously some of the lads will be going to the Euros or the Copa America. But yeah, we'll recharge and then we'll go again next season.
Oh, fantastic. When you come into a game like this, what are you looking for? Because obviously, you know, it's not sheep stations you're playing for. That's an Australian saying. What are you looking to get out of it?
Yeah, obviously it's not obviously playing for points or a cup, but equally we want to make sure that we give the fans something that they can be proud of, and we put on a good show. And I think tonight, with the number of goals, I think it's been a good workout.
Well, thank you so much for your time. Congrats on the win, and enjoy the off-season. Thank you, Chris Smalling. Thank you very much. We've just got Tijani Reinders here as well. Tijani, thank you for joining me. Obviously not the result you wanted, but a wonderful spectacle in front of 56,000 people.
Yeah, exactly. It's amazing that we come all the way here to Australia and can play for this amount of people. It's very nice.
And your season now, it's capped off. What are you going to do now? You take some time?
No, we have the European Championship.
Of course.
Waiting for me. So 7th of June, I go to the national squad.
And what have you made of WA or Perth while you've been here?
Sorry, again?
What do you make of Perth here? What do you like about it?
Yeah, I saw some kangaroos, some koalas, so that was very nice. And yeah, what I expected was the wildlife here, and I'm lucky that I could see it.
Did you get to hold a koala?
No, not that much. Not that much. No, unfortunately not, because we were with a big group. But yeah, I fed some kangaroos. That was also nice.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you so much for your time and for putting on a show tonight. Thank you.
Fantastic stuff from Tijani Reinders, and big thanks to Ryan Daniels. We will recap a wild night of action, lots of gold-filled fun. Stay with us on the other side of this short break. So this is what it looked like as Roma outgunned Milan 5-2 at Optus Stadium in Perth. Sada Azmoun wrapped up the scoring. 56,522 fans in this marvellous West Australian stadium enjoying a really memorable occasion. And you could just see fans like this, Stan Lazaridis, the players rose to the occasion to come to the other side of the world to see the colours, the merchandise, the cheering. It had a tangible effect on how they raised their level in this game.
Yeah, look, we spoke about it. I think they were even surprised at how many supporters that are here in Perth, and you know that Perth came out and supported, and it was such a great spectacle. Players lifted, great goals, great game.
As you put it when we were chatting, the most isolated city in the world, and yet Milan and Roma fans everywhere. And why wouldn't you be a fan as we recap the highlights after the game you got on offer? Let's be fair, the first goal was probably the least aesthetically pleasing of the night, but it did really break the game open after a lengthy feeling out process.
Yeah, it opened up the game, Teo. It needed, you know, a little deflection, you know, that strike. But have a look at this strike. Yeah, the ball over and the volley from 25, 30 yards out. Outstanding.
I mean, we need the lab to check if that's a land speed record, because look at how sweetly he strikes that off the boot. Teo Hernandez, and that was Milan's moment of the night. Yep, we'll drink to that. But Roma weren't done before half-time, because in first half stoppage, they took 1 minute and they used it to full effect.
Yeah, Abraham finishing off that great move from Dybala. I think it was Angelino, who had a great night as well. Just putting that ball over. Good finish.
And so that was Roma 2-1 up at the break. And then in the second half, a fairly free-flowing exchange of chances. And it was Roma who were able to strike first and set off a real chain reaction of goals. This was Angelino who was able to find the back of the net with a little deflection on the way. A goal and an assist for him.
Yeah, look, he was worthy of a goal. He was awesome the whole night. Good movement, good pace. Yeah, he got a little bit of luck there, but he deserved it.
Now, from the resulting kickoff, Milan didn't want to lose control of the game, at least not at this point of the night, and Okafor, one of the subs. It's a very neat finish.
Yeah, and that was literally 10 seconds later as well. I mean, we didn't even have time to sit in our seats, and a great finish.
So that was 3-2, but in a spell of 3 goals in 4 minutes. We nearly had a goal direct from the corner to begin with, and then same phase of play, Paulo Dybala just says, "What? There you go. How about that for one of another contender for goal of the night?"
Yeah, look, the cross itself from the corner, for me, he was man of the match. He was at the heart of everything Roma did, and the finish was just sublime.
And he gave a full energised 90, Paulo Dybala. Gave absolutely everything to this game, and that helped Roma power on to victory. Sada Azmoun said goodbye to the Giallorossi with a nice strike of his own.
Yeah, nice way to finish, and good power, good technique again. Dybala putting Azmoun through, just gets it away from his feet and pulls the trigger. Excellent.
When you've got a goal-scoring record like his, they just come so naturally. And that was a recap of the goals. A really thrilling night at Optus Stadium. 5-2, Roma able to win. On behalf of Ryan Daniels and Stan Lazaridis, my name's Teo Pellizzeri. Thanks for joining us for this one. Good night.